Hello YouTube. Today's machine is kind of old, but since we don't have any new machines till the moment or so far on the site, I will go backward and solve older machines. So today's machine is Hackfest Orcus. In this machine we are told that the difficulty is hard and we need to find three flags basically. So the file information. Okay, so let's go to the machine here, and after powering up the machine we see the notes here. It says first you need to get a shell, basically a limited shell, then proceed and get root access. Find the post exploitation flag, basically the flag that would be found on root, and then it says that there is something on this box that's different from the others. So it's pointing out that there is fourth flag on the machine. Okay, so powering up the machine, it gets DHCP assigned IP address. Okay, and we go to our attacking machine here, and to save time, I scan the machine. Okay, using the enumeration of the services option, the aggressive, so P for ports, and the IP is 22, and we got a couple of ports here. So first we have SSH and we have DNS 80, so much of our work will be on port 80, and here are some directories or files that have been discovered through robots.txt file. We have as well the POP3 and RBC bind, basically for NFS file share. So we have file share on the vulnerable machine, and we have a couple of ports here, the Samba server, and we have IMAP and SMP. So here's some basic information about the operating system and the version that have been popped using Nmap. So first thing I'm gonna do is, so you will go here, and here's the main page of the web server of the vulnerable machine. It says welcome to Orcus, and here it says click here to know what you need to do. So we click and we see an image says keep calm and hack the planet. So if we go to inspect the element to see if we have hidden phrases, hidden text, and click on head, so we have nothing basically. Okay, so let's click X on this and let me go back here. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and see what are the possible directories that will be discovered using GoBuster. So GoBuster, the URL of the page, 819, and the word list would be user share tools, then I think the word list I'm gonna use is sec list master and discovery web content. So I think I have forgotten the name, so let's take this. Let's go to the directory. So here we have CTF, and we need to go to discovery, web content, and the word list I'm gonna use, and you should use by the way, is raft small, directories lowercase. So let's modify this C and make it capital letter, and web content, so we paste the name and we go ahead. So we have the discovered directories. So you have admin, we have temp, we have themes, mobilizer, PHP admin, backups, Zen photo. Okay, so if we go to try to go to admin, so it's empty. Okay, so before explaining how I got those, okay, here you have the backups. Okay, if you go to backups, so you will have two files. Basically this file SSH credentials is unreadable. Okay, so if you go ahead and download the simple PHP quiz and save, so here's the file. Okay, so if you go ahead and click on open, so you will see here a list of files about quiz application. Okay, click on includes. Okay, and you'll see here also a list of PHP files. Okay, so the file dbcon or dbconnection, it means to PHP. If I take this file and so let's see this file, what this file has, dbcon. So basically this file has database credentials. Okay, so we have the username is dbuser and the database password is dbpassword. Okay, so those credentials need to be used in or for logging into the PHP admin application. So if you put here, let me close this, dbuser, then dbpassword, you will be logged into the database directly. And here's on the right we have a couple of information about the server and the version of the database. So the version is 4.541, okay, which is not vulnerable version. Okay, so this version, okay, if you search using search exploit, you will not find workable or handful exploits to use against this database. Okay, so if you go ahead here and browse the databases, we see most of them are empty databases. Okay, except the information schema, but here MySQL, and we have the quiz database. Okay, what looks interesting is this Zen photo. Okay, which is basically an application or web application. Okay, so if we go ahead and go to Zen photo, Zen photo, so let's look out. uh, so if you click on Zen Photo here, so those are the tables that have been created when I first tried the machine. Basically, when you first open the database here, you will see empty entries. You will not see those tables, okay? Unless you go ahead and click on or browse to Zen Photo. I think I need to log in, but I logged out to illustrate the process. But let me go to here and let's go back and close my browser. Okay, I have another tab opened, so let's click again on our browser. So 192.168. We log in with our credentials. Okay, here we have Zen Photo again. So let's go to Zen Photo. Oh, we don't have login. Okay. So I don't understand why it opens the directory page, but if you go to the main web page of the application, we will see a download option, but we don't want to download it since we have it. So let's go back and go to uninstall. So it says here the site is currently down for maintenance. Okay, so Zen Photo, not found. So I need to find the admin page of Zen Photo. So Zen Photo Core. So let's try this path. Well, okay. So here's the admin page of the web application. Okay. So first, when you first click on Zen Photo or write Zen Photo here, as I said, you will not find those tables. Okay, those tables are created because I did the machine before. Okay, so when you first open the database or log into the database, you will find the table or the database Zen Photo is empty from here. And if you try to access Zen Photo, it will direct you to the installation page. in which you need to create a new username and password. Okay, and those usernames and password are completely optional. You can create any username and password, and the username and password will be created here along with the tables. So the username and password that I created is admin, and here you type admin 4 times. Admin, first time, second, third, fourth. And as you can see, I have been logged on to the Zen photo using the credential that I created when I first installed the Zen photo. Okay, that would be the foothold that you need to take advantage of in order to have shell on the machine. Okay, so when you first log in here, you will see a couple of tabs, some of which is uploads and albums and tags. The tag or the tab you need to go to is plugins and go to uploader. So from here you need to enable EFL Finder, which provides file handling for the upload files. Basically it means that if you enable this eFinder on the Zen photo, you can then upload files of any extension. So that would allow us to upload any file. For example, if we can upload PHP file or for shell access. So next we go to upload files, eFinder, and from here what you need to do is right click from here and create new text file. Okay, so let me delete this file. Okay, let's create a new file, text file, name this file shell, and okay, so rename the file shell txt. Then I can go ahead and edit the file. So here we need to put, you guess it, yes, it's PHP reverse shell. So let's go to my PHP reverse shell. So cd to PHP reverse shell nano no, I don't think nano is a good idea. So leave path PHP reverse. Okay, copy, and we go back to our browser, paste, and we are good to go. Make sure to note down or to modify the IP address here to your attacking machine IP address and the port of your choosing. So click on save. Now what you need to do is right click, rename, and instead of shell txt we will name it shell.php. So before browsing to shell.php we need to close this, and here establish our listener on the port. Good. So now let's open the shell. Well, now we should receive connection back. Great. Now we have limited shell access. See how it's simple? You just browsed or discovered the directories. You found backup directory. From the backup directory you found leaked credentials. From leaked credentials you could be able to access the PHP database and then create an application or create your username and password, then upload your limited shell. So let's go ahead here and spawn a pty shell, Python shell. So here I copy the pty shell and paste. So now we are the user as usual www data. Okay, so the first flag, you will find the first flag in cd var HTML. Okay, var, I think it's in W3 LSA. So the first flag obviously is here. Okay, so cat flag st. This is the first flag. Now we have got, so going back here to monitor our progress, we got shell. So now we need to get root access. So the way you're gonna do it is, you remember when you first scanned the machine? I think it's here. Nope. So the nmap scan results. Okay. If you remember that we found like RPC information on port 31s, we find NFS share. So we have network file share on the vulnerable machine. So how can we discover what's in there? So let's have a new terminal and let's use showmount. Showmount basically is a tool to list the what are the files or the exports in the network file share. So the network file share that we need to enumerate is on the vulnerable machine, of course, 1.6.8.1.9.22. Okay, so the network file share on the vulnerable machine export temp directory. Okay, so what that means is we can export or mount this directory on the network file share on our machine. So the command you need is sudo mount -t nfs and specify the IP address on which you need to export or mount the network file share. So 68.1.9, and the directory that I need to mount is temp. The destination would be my machine, root, desktop, mount. Well, so here's the file here. So we go to desktop, MNC. So let's go to MNC, cd hgfs. Okay, so we have here the files that are mounted on the temp directory on the network file share. And none of those files seem to be interesting. Okay, but if you go back to the machine here and to see what are the configurations on the network file share or the export of the network file share, to see the configurations of the exports on the network file share, you need to type cat etc exports. Okay, so here are the configuration for the network file share. Okay, down there we see no root squash, and this no root squash, if enabled on any network file share, it will allow remote users like us to upload files, manipulate files, and modify files on the network file share. And this is disastrously terrible. So here the vulnerability here is, or the misconfiguration here on the network file share is, they allowed the feature of no root squash. So because this feature is allowed, or this misconfiguration is present, now we can modify any file on the network file share, create our own files, and escalate our privilege. Okay, well, so what we need to do is, we have a couple of options. Okay, so the way I did it is, I created a file which is shell in my desktop. So I will show the file nano shell.c, and in this file here I have set the UID and the GID to be 0, which is root, and spawn bash shell. Okay, so this file, if it is run, okay, it will spawn bash shell with the GID and UID root. Okay, so we go back here, and what we need to do is to copy this file shell to MNT. Okay, so now the MNT has not quite. Go back, CP shell, MNT. So we go to MNT. So here we have the shell, okay, which we have created, okay, is now present on the network file share, or the export of the network file share. Now I should see this file now on the vulnerable machine. Let's see. Go to temp. So here I have the file is uploaded, okay, without any control. So I need to do here, give the file permissions to run on my machine first. chmod s shell, and change the root user, which is root, by the way. I don't need to change anything because I'm root. So let's go and run the file here. And now we are root. This simple. So I click on ID, type ID. It shows me that I am root right now. So as simple as it is, okay, just misconfiguration on the network file share allows us to escalate our privilege from a regular or limited user to a root user. So what we need to do here is go back here to our progress. So we got shell, we got root access. So there is a post exploitation flag on the box. Basically, this flag is typically found on root. So cat flag txt, and here is the post exploitation flag. So fourth, there is something on this box that is different from the others, from this series, and find why it's different. So I think we need to find another flag. So the way you're gonna do it is go to home directory. You will see that there is a directory that's weird. You will find nothing here. If we copy this, cd to this directory, bash cd, no such file or directory. You're kidding me? Oh, we forgot to copy the period. So cd okay, now la, there's a file I told you, cat I told you, and it's empty. So basically here it's hinting about something that is related or associated with the home directory, okay, because upon cd to home directory we found that you will find nothing here, as it is saying that I have something weird or something fishy going on in the home directory. So if we go to or try to see the users and the passwords, you will find there is a user named Kipo, okay, and this user is on the home directory, which is Kipo, but we went to home directory and we found nothing, with a note that you will not find anything here. So that means that we have something to do with the Kipo user, okay. So let's first try to find anything related to Kipo. Minus, let's say we use the find command, or so let's forget about find. If you go to cd etc, so in etc directory I think etc user cd user grep LSLA etc. Let's see. So we have Kipo on etc. So let's go to etc. Here we have Kipo directory. Basically, I haven't tried to discover that flag. So cd blog nano we go back again. So let's see, keep a configuration file, but does it have this file? Nano what's wrong? Okay, cat. Well, so let's see what we have here. Maybe we will find the 40 flag here. So here we have the SSH honeypot application with the user, and the password is this. So I would think that this is the fourth flag, or this is the fourth hint, or the fourth different thing that the machine author is pointing to. We should find, which is here. Okay. So that is for this machine. It's kind of not very easy, but the main idea is the network file share no squash misconfiguration that allowed us to have the root access on the machine.